Welcome back to another episode of Voice Podcast. I am sitting here with none other, the Diamond Kut himself. You all seen him before. One of my first clips went viral, sitting with him, talking to him, having conversation with him. I'm glad he is so back. All you guys that have been tuning in and know who he is. AJ, it's the end of the summer, man. End of the summer.
Yes, sir.
I gotta ask you, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm blessed. I'm busy, tired, but it's all a part of the blessing. So yeah, I'm good, man. I've been great. God's been blessing me, man. It's been really good. Really good summer. It's been, I call it grind season. Just like everybody have an off season. I think that when it comes to summertime, that's the best time to eat. So
Oh, heck yeah. Especially in this heat. It's been record-breaking heat, man.
yeah.
Record-breaking heat. I just want to get right into it. I have like a few things. I might just jump out of order. But first and foremost, let's congratulate him and give him a Voice Podcast shout out and recognition. This man told me months ago he was going to have a gym. And
Yes.
sure enough,
Yes, sir.
you got the gym. What's
Be in
up?
action.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, Diamond Kut Athlete opening September 1st. Last time we were here, I was talking about it. I was like, it's in the works.
Mhm.
And I remember literally that next week is when I actually signed the lease.
Yeah.
So that was a wild part. And then June did all the renovations. We got all the equipment inside there now. And yeah, training out of it, but open to the public come September 1st. And then the grand opening will be September 23rd.
Okay. Hey, so let me ask you this. What is now the difference you see now that you have your own gym? It's yours, it has your name, the brand.
I would say the difference is, man, I would say it's just like you gotta care about everything. Like
Yeah.
when you got like a entire, like at first it's just like you running your business as a personal trainer,
Yeah.
but now like when opening a gym, I take so much pride in just knowing how everything works.
Yeah.
So that way, because this is the foundation part, right?
Yeah.
So whenever I bring somebody in, now I know what type of turf I have, what type of
Yeah.
equipment, the why behind everything that I've been doing.
Okay.
And so it changes your mindset to think even bigger. And once you achieve it, it's like, all right, now the faith is set in that I
Yeah.
can do whatever I put my brain to.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. So when was the exact date that you, I guess, started accepting people to come in the gym? So I know you're not officially open to the
Yeah.
public.
It'll be like, I guess it probably was July. So
July.
Yep. So
Okay.
I was here in, I think, May.
Yes.
Yep. So here in May, signed the lease right at the end of May. June, I had all the renovations done. By July, it was like July 7th. I had all the equipment that came in. And then as equipment was being built, we started training inside it because I was like, hey,
So you're training as
man, like
Yeah.
the day was crazy. So like it literally, I would be there. I would train in the morning time. I would get on the phone, see when shipments was coming in.
Yeah.
I will help because they would send one person to unload all like yeah. I'm talking about I got 8 racks inside there.
Yeah, I seen. I was like, oh shit.
Treadmills.
I was wondering too. I was like, did you move all that in by
Yeah.
yourself?
So yeah, they bring one person and all they do is get it off the truck.
And then you
And it's up to me to get in. So yeah, I would call a couple friends to help me like grab stuff and bring it in. But yeah, it was like do that. I would do that in the middle of the day. Then by the time the evenings come, my clients are coming back. And so then I'll go back to training and then I'll try to finish up, clean up for the end of the evening, turn around, do the same thing the next day.
You think your clients are very flexible?
Oh yeah, man. I am blessed with some of the best clients you could ask for,
Heck
man.
yeah.
Like they're donating mirrors. Like they see the grind. And I think that's the cool part about me just being able to be very transparent with them of what's going on and like them seeing the transition of, 'cause I told them like back in October that I'm gonna work on getting my own gym.
Yeah.
And so, October to May, people don't like I'm not a chatty patty. Like I don't like capping.
Heck
So it's like after a while as I'm still trying to make it happen, like I'm not saying anything about it until I execute it. And so once I executed, they're like, "Oh, you really did this." And they see me, and they didn't know the grind,
Heck
but
yeah.
then they'll be like, "So when will you find the time to do this? 'Cause I see you training in your garage all
Right.
day long." And it's like anytime I had in between time, like I was waking up every single day trying to find something to
Hell
do
yeah.
to push me towards a goal. And then now that they've seen it happen, it's like when they see you do it, it's like the Jones effect. They want to help you get to that goal. So yeah, man, my clients, I ain't got no complaints. Like, they gonna donate, they gonna pat me on the back, ask, hey, you need to eat something, man, take some time, grab something to eat. I'll start doing my stretches on my own. Like it's wild. Like they really
Hey,
supported
that
me
is
during this
love. Hey, that's
transition.
that's just the Diamond Cut culture, man. That is love, and I'm trying to even like grasp all this right now because I remember being told in May, like, "Hey,
Yeah,
I'm gonna open up the gym. Like, I got this coming. Just wait or whatnot."
yeah,
And we sat there, and it was like, okay. And of course, I knew you was gonna do it because I've seen you get
yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying? But then to see it, boom, pop up like that,
yeah.
it's good, bro. Like
Man,
that's something to be like proud of. And I don't know if you took that moment yet for yourself
yeah.
to have that moment because sometimes we get caught up in the grind and we don't take that moment to be
I'm
like,
trying.
yeah, we don't take that moment to be like, man, thank God, like I got here, I did what I said I was gonna do because, bruh, I'm trying, I'm trying to tell you, I'm somebody that's seen this man start with nothing, like you
Yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying, and to make nothing out of something, and then to like do it on a big scale that you're
Yeah.
doing it on.
It's I got this running saying that I'm telling my wife is I'm not playing no games with it. Like,
No,
because the thing is like that's what my I would say my proud moment of like taking time and just appreciating is when they put the name on the wall. And once they put the name on the wall, it was just like that. It's it's a feeling of for me, it's like, yeah, I'm proud, but it really just made me like,
a
oh
little bit
yeah.
more,
Yeah, I wouldn't even say a little bit more. It's
more, yeah.
I'm just now in the game,
Mhm.
and trust believe I'm shooting that thing.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm about to
yeah,
let it. I'm
yeah.
letting it fly. I've
Hey,
been at practice, waiting to get
yeah,
inside the game. Now I'm
I
about to let
like
that
that.
thing fly.
I like that. I like that because hey, I feel the same way you feeling right now. And like that's why I'm glad I'm around you. I know I ain't been around. I'm be honest, AJ. I done had a summer.
Yeah,
Your boy was in jail.
yeah,
Like I did a few crazy things or
yeah.
whatnot. I'm good now. I'd let my damn dog go. I sent him down to Louisiana because he's getting trained. He's a hunting dog, so he hunt rabbits and
Oh
all that
no,
stuff. Yeah, so
heck yeah,
he's hunting rabbits or whatnot. Just a lot of growing up, maturing, and just like figuring stuff out. And like now I'm here, so like that put me on a hold from May. Just going through all that put
yeah,
me on a hold, and to like overcome all that that I was dealing with at the time or whatnot. Now I just remember sitting in my cell, just like okay. When I get up out this mug, like they don't even realize
yeah,
like I'm about to go hard. Like you said, like it made you want it more. And then when I started getting like a lot of feedback, people just like hitting me up and like now, like when I go places, people like, oh, so you the podcaster, you the person that do the podcast.
yeah,
Like I'm shooting now, like in a
yeah.
sense of like, yeah,
Man, when God bless you, man,
yeah,
like some people take that thing for granted, but
hell yeah,
for some, as somebody who came from like just having to do things on my own and I always loved the grind part
hell
of
yeah,
that. Like when I get that shot, like
hey,
sometimes we mess it up. That's just a part of life,
hell yeah,
right? We don't get we're not always gonna get the
hell
picture
yeah,
on the first try. But
yeah,
once you realize it, hindsight's 2020, and when it come back around, trust believe I'm taking advantage of it. And I mean, just like you saying that you had to go through that experience through the summer, now I can already see the determination in your eyes, like, oh yeah, we back on track. We're gonna be do this. Like that's what makes you line it up. And some people will probably look at it as a bad thing, but like,
yeah,
no, sometimes you need like it's like fighting. Life
yeah,
is a fight to me.
hell yeah,
And so you got to get chin check sometimes.
hell
And
yeah,
once you get chin check, it's about is you gonna
bro,
sit down and you gonna simp inside the corner,
yeah,
or are you gonna get up and say, all right, cool,
hell yeah.
let's get this work in.
Oh yeah,
So
because I had that moment. I was like, shit, they really was going. They locked my black ass up. I was like,
yeah.
yeah, I said, oh, this shit, yeah. So, but anyways, um, and that even now, I just want to go into the topic. One of the first topics, entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
So you said just a whole bunch of things right there. What do you think the road? How would you describe being an entrepreneur? How to keep going during those times?
I would say it's gonna be you have to know that it's gonna be a sacrifice and it's not gonna be convenient.
Yeah.
Like I think that we have glamorized entrepreneurship and it has made people have false expectations of what being an entrepreneur is. And so a lot of people don't even know that with entrepreneurship, people suffer with depression like
Mm,
crazy.
hell yeah.
And so a lot of people, it was like around, I want to say like right before 2020 and kind of in 2020 when people were talking about, hey, you should have a side gig, entrepreneurship, all that stuff. And you were hearing about so many people battling depression. And it's because that you're seeing all these people say entrepreneurship is this, the
Mhm.
end goal. th- that end goal is far in between, you know what I mean? And so it's like entrepreneurship is really sticking to the grind, believing in yourself, and knowing that it is a investment of your time, effort over a long period of time. It doesn't turn like some you might get lucky and it might turn out in 6 months, right? Or it could be 7 years, right? But
Mhm.
at the same time, it's about how whatever you put into it at the end of the day is what you get out. And that's why I like entrepreneurship, because it's like you eat what you kill,
Yeah.
right?
Hey, I
And
like
so
that. You listen to that New York Gotti?
yeah, so
That he
you
said
eat
that
what
he
you
said
kill, man.
I was a
And so
woo, I like that.
if you expect to just come in and collect a check, right? You
Hell
can't
yeah.
you like you're
Hell
not
yeah.
gonna survive in this. Like you
Hell
think
yeah.
that everything's gonna be easy, you're not
Hell
gonna
yeah.
survive in it,
Hell yeah.
and it's gonna eat you alive. And then you're gonna be blaming, oh man, what's called entrepreneurship ain't for me. It's not,
Yeah.
right? It's not for everybody,
Yeah.
but for the people that it is for,
Oh yeah.
they can make it work, and then that's why they can be the boss and reap the benefits of it, because they're
Yeah.
willing to put the work in
Work
on the
in.
front end
Yeah.
and believe in themselves. Because entrepreneurship, like you have to overcome doubt, and I think that's something that a lot of people don't talk about with entrepreneurship. Like they think that you just walk with confidence, right?
Hell
No,
yeah.
it's a risk. You're putting yourself out there. It's like what Eric Badu's remember I'm an artist and I'm
Yeah.
sensitive about my shit.
Yeah.
That's entrepreneurship.
Entrepreneurship.
Like you're going to be sensitive about your
Hell
stuff,
yeah.
and you're gonna be on pins and needles, but at the same time, you have to overcome doubt, because if you don't, you're not ever gonna reach the level of your business that your business can actually get to.
Hell yeah.
And so you just really got to believe in yourself, pump yourself up every day, and figure out structure to be able to survive in the game and survive the highs and the lows for real.
Yeah. Hey, I like what you said. So now let me ask you this. So once you make it, then how do you like delegate now resources to the people trying to make it up under you? Because obviously, when you're an entrepreneur,
Mhm,
you begin to have a following of people that follow your journey and want to be a part of your journey.
mhm.
You, as like the owner, the person that now has the resource, how do you help them eat?
Yeah, I would say you have to. I mean, leaders eat last. At the end of the day, there's a
Yeah.
book about it, but really, it is you have to put the people that are under you first, but you have to be very selective about the people that you have underneath you.
Mm,
Right? There has to be. Um, I am now believing that you have to have some type of skin in the game, and you have to make some type of sacrifice if this is the road that you want to take with me,
mm,
right? Because everybody can't go with me,
yes.
right? Everybody wants to go, but everybody's not qualified, and everybody doesn't have everything that it takes to be able to go on this road with me. So one, that's going to be a part of the process of when you're getting brought on and getting hired. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna really take my time to
Hell
really
yeah.
figure out what type of person you are,
Hell
and
yeah.
then really just see like how much grit you really got.
Hell yeah.
And then from there, I'm gonna try to give you all the tools you need to
Hell
be
yeah.
successful, because now you're an investment of my time. That's time I don't get
Yeah.
back. And so I'm not
Yeah.
trying to do this over again inside 2 weeks after you quit.
Hell yeah.
And so I gotta put you first. I gotta pour into you and make sure that you can sustain yourself. So that way I can go handle the business on the
Yeah.
back end. But like for me, entrepreneur and being the boss now, like I gotta put all the people underneath me first and make sure that they feel equipped, they feel confident, and that I'm giving them the power to help me out.
Yeah.
Right. Because that's the other part about things.
Hell yeah.
I want to show people like, hey, this is what I'm doing in order to make this run.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't earned the right to be the boss that doesn't walk in yet.
Mm,
Right. And that's a privilege. Like people think like, oh, you become the boss, like, oh, you just call the shots. No, like I'm the boss. I'm there from 6:30 a.m. to 7:30 or 8 p.m.
yeah.
And I'm mopping the floors at the end of the night, or I'm cleaning the floors inside the morning time. I'm training my clients. And when your people underneath you see that, it inspires them to want to help you.
Help you.
Right. But that's the part where it's like, you got to remember that the boss means that you're going to eat last, put your people first, and you got to do all the dirty work and put in as they grow, you grow. As
Yeah.
long as you got the right systems in place that make sure everybody wins.
Damn. Hey, that's deep. And I like what you said because real bosses that I've seen, they're always doing shit, like you said, from 6:30 to close. They're always there, you know.
Yeah.
They're always there. Not the bosses who get their leave and then tell everybody else to, hey, this is what y'all gotta do or
Yeah.
whatnot. You know, I really like what you said. I think that makes a good boss. That makes not just a good boss, a good leader.
Yeah. Because the thing is like, you shouldn't have to manage people,
Yeah.
right? If you're selecting the right people,
Hell yeah.
right? You should have to manage things,
Yeah.
right? I build people.
Yeah.
Like, and that's like I think that's one thing that a lot of people don't do is they don't train people
Yeah.
how to do a job correctly.
Yeah.
And so like I have to be there to
Yeah.
be able to make sure that everything's being
So
done.
how did you become like this? What was in your life where you were like, okay, it's more than just me? Because now at the point, Diamond Cut is bigger than you. Like
Yeah.
it's a culture, it's a community now.
Yeah.
It's bigger than you. So like, how did you get to that point in your life where you were like, okay, this is bigger than me, and now I got to create opportunities for people, and not only that, change people's lives? Because I've seen your clients from the first day they walk in to present day of now of who they are now, and it's just like they got a hold of like that culture
Yeah.
with you and being around you. So I guess I'm trying to really figure out like what made you don't meet people like you every single day, you know what I'm saying, that you can just like call up, or like you got their contact right then and there,
Yeah.
and you have, real conversation, somebody that's going to tell you some real stuff. Because off camera, just for how long we know each other, you've always had real conversations, and like
Yeah.
you're somebody in my life. You don't ever like tell me sometimes stuff that I wanted to hear, even though sometimes when I may have been like a knucklehead trying to like do it, it's always like, all right, man, let's sit down and like, okay, you see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So that's what I'm just trying to figure out, like what made you this person?
Man, I would say, man, I kind of always been this person. Like even like with my boys growing up, like everybody knows that if you want somebody that's gonna say what everybody's thinking, but nobody feels comfortable to say,
Yeah,
it's gonna be me.
yeah,
Like, and I've tried, and it's funny because when I was younger, I tried to shy away from it because people used to think that I was like basically being an a-hole and stuff
yeah,
like that. But like, I realized that it's not that. It's more of just like I just got to be authentic to myself, and if you rock with me, you rock with me. If you don't, you're not made to be around me. You know what I mean? And
mhm,
so once I embraced that and leaned more into it, it made me basically be okay with like, hey, if I see somebody doing wrong and I have genuine care for you and I want you to be able to flourish as a human being, if I don't say anything, I feel like I'm doing you a disservice and I'm not being a real leader, being a real friend or a real brother. And so I'm going to say something to you.
hell yeah,
You might not like it, right? But at the same time, you can always check me right back and be like, hey, man, you came at me wrong. And I'd be like,
hell
cool,
yeah,
that was my bad,
hell yeah,
right? But at the same time, like, I got to be real.
hell
Like,
yeah,
because I don't feel like there's a lot of real people. A lot of things are
hell yeah,
transactional. And I'm a sole believer in I just want to be able to impact the people around me.
hell
Like
yeah,
I don't care about being an influencer or anything like that. I just want to be able to be an impact to where it's like if I was to pass away, people were gonna come to my funeral and they gonna be like, man, AJ said this to me and it changed my life. Right. Or he did this for me. He always looked out. Right. And of course, there's always gonna be some things that you fall short on. But for the most part, I just try and do more good than I do bad in the world
yeah,
and impact everybody around me. So only way I can do that is if I'm authentically myself
yeah.
and then try to be a positive human being for everybody. So
Did you have like people, above you that were like leading you, like grooming you to be, where you are right now?
yeah, my mentor Mario. My
Yeah.
mentor Mario, man, like he was man, Mario changed my life to be honest. Like, so I was in the second grade, like he was my basically he was my drum instructor first. He
Hell
taught me how
yeah.
to play the drums. But once I got into middle school, my mom had took a traveling job, and so I just started being a knucklehead. Like I was like, hey, ain't
Yeah.
nobody at the crib, man. Like who
Hey.
you gonna call? Like,
That's
like I ain't nothing gonna happen to me. So I
hey.
started getting in trouble. But Mario basically took me underneath his wing with me and I call them all my brothers because basically we were just a group of boys that were at the school. And he took me underneath his wing and he just really just looked out for me. He set an example for me for what like a
Hell
black
yeah.
man should be.
Hell yeah.
And then from there, like I just got to see it.
Hell
Like for
yeah.
me, that's all I've always been. Like I just need exposure leads to expansion. Like I just got to see it. And once I saw it, and it's crazy to see how it has happened. But now I get to do everything that he's done for me for my athletes. I get to do.
Yeah.
Right. I get to give them the real talks. I get to make sure that they are making the right decisions. And so that's really the one of the people because it was a collective of men that were inside my life that I really like. I call them infinity stones. Like I
Yeah.
used to
Hell
be
yeah.
like, all right, I like this trait about this person. I
Hell
like
yeah.
this trait about this person. But that was one of the major people inside my life that said, hey, get your stuff together.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Get your mind right. He was in the church too, so
Yeah.
like he made sure that we went to church and things like that. But he's the person that really made me like just really have to man up in a sense.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey.
And he was always there to back me up if anything did go bad, because a lot of things did.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, I'm not faulty on that. It be like that sometimes. Life be
Yeah,
like that. So we talked about entrepreneurship. Now, I mean, we said a little bit about the gym. I guess for you, what is the goal? This will be the first, year that's gonna be open. What is the goal? What have you said to yourself?
man, it's funny to actually say a goal because I really don't have one, right?
Okay.
And anybody hearing that they'll be like, that sounds crazy, but it's really I'm just letting God guide me, because I don't want it to be something he's got me to this point,
Hell yeah.
obviously, right? So it's going to be something great. But it also is like to a point where I don't want to try to force it to be something that I want because it's been authentically growing
Yeah.
itself. And I was just like, hey, let's just see where this goes. And so
Yeah.
I would say the goal is really just to be able to hit all the goals that I have written down
Yeah.
for it, to grow it, pack it out, give everybody something new. And then from there, see where I go next. Cause I mean, that's just how I look at it. Like
Hell yeah.
it's gonna grow, right? It's
Oh man,
something
hell
it's
yeah.
something different to the
To be a
market.
gym already, like just starting out and the amount of people that you have and sharing on social media and coming through that I've been seeing to be a new space
Yeah.
moving that fast. That's really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and so,
that's really good.
and it's just like I know that I'm delivering a quality product,
Yeah.
and so when you know that you're delivering something quality,
Hell yeah.
right? It's easy to sell
It
it.
ain't bullshit.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
Like,
it's
yeah.
easy to sell it.
Sell
And
it.
so,
Hell
like
yeah.
when someone walks into my facility, like that's how like I feel so confident. Like when you
Oh
walk
yeah, yeah.
in, like you're gonna be like, wow,
No.
this is
Hell
you
yeah.
thought about every single thing inside here,
Hell
and
yeah.
then from there, it's just really about price point.
Hell yeah.
And so that's about finding the right target market. So
Yeah.
I know it's gonna grow. So it's not even like hitting a certain number of people inside the first year. It's really about being profitable, having the best trainers. If I really was to make a goal, I want all my trainers to be like making significant amount of money
Hell yeah.
because as trainers, we never get sold that this can be a career,
Hell yeah.
right? And it's just because like just circumstances inside the fitness world, right?
Hell yeah.
So I want all my trainers to be able to be like, man, I'm actually able to go travel.
Yeah.
I'm able to have save for a 401k. I'm able to have a family just by operating inside the space that AJ is providing me with. And so I know if they're thriving, I'm a thrive. So
Yo, that's big. That is big. And now that we're talking about the fitness industry, I actually wanted to talk about that.
yeah,
I'm glad I have you here or whatnot. Do you feel like the fitness industry is becoming oversaturated? And what I mean by
yeah.
that, my bad, I'm gonna
No,
let
you
you get your
good.
shit
No,
out.
you good.
But
I was thinking. That's all.
what I mean by that is nowadays, especially because of social media, if
Yeah.
anybody knows how to do a squat,
Yeah.
they'll post a video,
Yeah.
do a squat, they'll post another video of them eating healthy for like 1 week or whatever, and boom, I'm a trainer, I know fitness, I know all this, and whoop de whoop. Me having the background of being around people like you,
Yeah.
Monty, Martinez, that environment to see all those people who really do this shit for a real living, excuse my language, but you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's real life in the game, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That you see like, okay, like these folks there, they go to work on it.
Yeah.
For me, when I see all this stuff with just people popping up on social media, calling themselves trainers and trying to get into the fitness world or whatnot, it's just like, and I even got to shout out my boy Femi. He go hard too or
Yeah.
whatnot. Like,
My dog. It's
yeah,
another
hell
it's another
yeah,
mentee.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, coming soon.
Yeah.
He coming soon. Yeah. So like, the thing is, I just be sitting here like thinking like, I feel like the industry's getting so oversaturated because now, like I said, somebody will just do a squat, post a healthy meal, and now I'm a trainer. Now I know all about fitness. So I just want your opinion on where the fitness industry is going. I think it's one of the easiest things, obviously, to get into,
Yeah.
but you got to know your shit. Like you,
Yeah.
go ahead. My bad.
No, you good.
Yeah.
I don't. It's weirdly enough, I don't think it's
Yeah.
oversaturated. I think there's just more eyes on it now,
Yeah.
right? Because like when I talk to older people, everybody wants to tell me that they were a trainer,
Yeah.
right? And that they know what I'm talking about, and it's just like, and I think that might be now since I've differentiated myself from like a personal
Yeah.
trainer, because like personal trainer, yeah, anybody can go on the job and say that, hey, I'm a personal trainer, like
Yeah.
because making a workout is super simple. Like,
Simple.
hey, I'm gonna make you burn some calories. We can go do 100 squats, do some
Yeah.
burpees. We're gonna run.
So what
down
would you
the field.
consider yourself then now?
I would say a performance coach.
Performance coach.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so and the main reason why is because like I look at performance holistically, as in like it's about mind, body, nutrition, and movement,
Yeah.
right? And those are the 4 principles that I made my gym off of because it's like you can't. Everybody's talking about losing weight, but there are so many factors that go into that looking
Yeah.
good, right? They think that, and that's why people are just like, oh, I'm a personal trainer. They think that you can just do squats and eat chicken, right?
Hell yeah.
And they think that that's going to get people to their goals. No, it doesn't. Like it's so much more that you have to do. I have to make sure you know how to implement a habit and actually keep to it.
Yeah.
Right? Because the fitness industry has been built on a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Hey, let's do this 30-day challenge, make you lose a lot of weight, right? And then you're going to gain it right back
Yeah.
within a year or a year and a half, right?
Yeah.
Most time they say it's like 1.5 times the weight that you lost, you
Yeah.
gain that much back, right? And so you're gonna come back again for the next time we do our 30-day challenge,
Yeah.
right? And so that's where I say I'm not that person.
Yeah.
I've never been that person from the beginning. I always tell people I'm here to teach you how to do a lifestyle.
Yeah.
Eventually, you need to fire me,
Yeah.
right? But that's
Yeah.
because you hit your goal, you know how to maintain your goal,
Damn.
and like you can actually do this as a lifestyle. Now, if you decide, hey, you give me the extra push and you want to stay, then I've done my job right. But at the same time, that's why I say like personal trainers, like anybody can go out there and be a personal trainer now, right?
Yeah.
And back in the day, they used to everybody was saying like I was a
Yeah.
personal trainer when yeah, that was cool, but you're not doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so that's why I say it's not oversaturated. It's just more eyes on it. And so now they're getting to see everybody and it looks polluted, but it's been like this
Yeah.
for the
Oh,
longest.
so it's been like this.
Yeah, it's been like
Oh,
this.
shit.
And so like at gyms, most of the time it was like I believe my old manager told me it was a 60% like turnover rate
Yeah.
when you hire somebody.
Yeah.
And so you like, let's say I got hired with 3 people.
Yeah.
I'm the only one, right? That
Right.
is still inside the fitness industry.
Hell
So
yeah.
think about that. That's just at one gym at 1 month, right? They're
Hell yeah.
probably a lot of gyms believe in quantity. So they're gonna have like 20 trainers there.
Yeah.
And if you got 20 trainers training part-time, a lot of them are gonna quit over time,
Yeah.
but they've still been trainers before,
For
right? And if you put everybody with a social, now everybody has social media in their
Yeah.
hand and they think that they can become an influencer and they could,
Yeah.
right? But at the same time, it's just putting more eyes on the fitness industry to
Yeah.
see how much BS is going on over here.
Hell yeah.
And there's no real qualification to be here.
Here.
All you gotta do is take a test. I took my test inside 2 weeks.
Hell
Like
yeah.
my first one,
Hell yeah.
first certification,
Hell
I
yeah.
studied for 2 weeks, passed it, and now I can call myself a personal
First
trainer.
trainer.
Like crazy.
Hell
like
yeah.
that's only qualification
Hell yeah.
to be able to do it.
Damn. That's true. Yeah.
It's so
Yeah.
that's why everybody's like, oh, I can just become a personal trainer. I'll make some money. It's like, nah, like
Hell yeah.
when you come over here, like if you want to survive in this, you better
Hell
know
yeah.
some business. You better know interpersonal
Hell yeah.
communication.
See?
You better know
Yeah.
how to deal with people,
Hell
right?
yeah.
Because if not, you're not gonna last.
Hell
And
yeah.
so
True.
it
True.
might be people might see a whole bunch of people are personal trainers,
Yeah.
but they're part-time trainers. No one's doing
Yeah,
this really
no,
full time.
I got nothing but respect for people that are personal trainers, performance coaches, all that stuff to get a taste of the fitness industry when I was in there, doing the office work in the back end. So I looked at it more as, I'm in the front office
Yeah.
or whatnot. So if I'm on the team or whatnot, I'm in the front office. That's the stuff that I like. And so to me, to see like real trainers who go out there, real coaches who go out there and they put time into their craft of like changing stuff. Cause I even see people who are influencers on like Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. And it's like, oh, I don't think they're putting time into their craft to get better. Like it's one thing to always focus on doing the same workout and everybody's different,
Mhm.
everybody's different. And the fact that, every client that you have, you always are like focused on them,
Yeah.
I think that's why you have such a big following now. I think that's why, like, when you're in a room with people and it's fitness that has to be talked about, all eyes lock in on you, and everybody wants to hear what opinion or what statements or facts that you're gonna make because you know your shit. One thing that I really like about you is you're ground up. You're not one of those people running to a gym really fast, like some big gym or wherever, and trying to just be like, oh, let me just hop in and get on the team or whatnot, and just
Yeah.
use you guys as a name. Like, no, you were somebody that's like, I'm building this shit up. I'm building, and honestly, I believe that Diamond Kut can compete with major gyms, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's hard. I think one thing you beat people on is atmosphere.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I look at some people like, yeah, your gym has a lot of like the social shit on there or whatnot. But are people here to post on social media or are they here to really work out?
Yeah.
There's a really big difference because I see a lot of people who go to the gym and you're just there really to post that you're at this gym or whatnot and have your photo or whatnot. Because when I see somebody in person, I'm like, oh, well, what's the results? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and it just really comes from like, and that's the thing where, because there's a space for everybody inside
Yeah.
fitness, and it's about what do you want to ground and represent, and so
Yeah.
like, there's like, because the thing I would say that's the cool part about fitness.
Yeah.
It can bring so many people together,
Yeah.
whether it's for social or if it's just like, hey, this is like the club for us,
Yeah.
right? Or just like, hey, the moms like
And
to
my
meet
bad,
up
I didn't
here.
mean to cut you. I like what you said. A club for us. The
Yeah.
gym has turned into a modern day club
Yeah,
for
it
people
is.
to socialize at and be at. Like you would be
Yeah.
very, very surprised. And I think it really took off after like COVID hit
Yeah.
or whatnot. And the gym now is a place where people will go there to hang out rather than to work. And there's nothing wrong if you
Yeah.
because there's social people that they want to get out the house, do their thing, and ain't nothing wrong with socializing, and working out. At least you gonna be
Yeah.
in shape. Socialize your
Yeah.
ass off in that mug.
and they also made the gym sexy and like,
Yeah.
and for me, that's why like my environment is different at Diamond Cut because
Yeah.
like I I mean, I'm trying to put this the right way. Like when it comes to going into the gym, like there ain't nothing sexy about that
No.
shit to me. Like, you know what I mean?
No.
Like, cause I look at the body as in like something. This is my vehicle to
Yeah.
do what I need to
Yeah.
do. And so when I'm going into the gym, it's not here to play games.
Yeah.
Like I'm in the gym, I'm locked in.
Damn.
Like it's funny. Me and my wife talk about it all the time. It's like when we were growing up, the gym used to wear an old pair of basketball shorts, old t-shirt,
Yeah.
right? You inside there is grit work,
Work.
right? You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It ain't nothing.
No.
I'm looking up, I might have snot on my nose. I'm sweating, right?
Yeah.
Because I'm here to get it.
Get
And
it.
so that's why I always wanted like if I was to ever do something, I wanted to represent something that gets results. I'm not giving you any smoke and mirrors. And so
Yeah.
that's why, like, even when I created Diamond Kut, it was like, all right, how can I make this something that is actually going to stand out and that when people sign up for it, they can
Yeah.
feel like they're going to get results and that we're going to give you the tools to be successful and not just have you as a membership that we're just hitting every single month.
Yeah, and I like what you said about that, and I definitely feel the Diamond Kut lifestyle in me, because even when I go to the gym now, I still, like you said, like have that hard work, that grit, that's still in me. I'm not there to be, all looking good. Everybody, sometimes people get it fooled or whatnot.
Yeah.
I'm light skinned. They think you hear on the pretty boy shit. I be having to
you
tell.
decided doing the hair flip.
I be having to let some people know, hey, he don't be on that pretty boy shit or whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
give him a little bit, you'll be like, okay, he's not one of them light skins. But I go into the gym, bro, like, and I wear my shorts, my Diamond Kut shorts, and I go to work in a sense of like when I'm up in there, I go to work. Like I take pride that I won 2 back-to-back championships in Orange Theory
Yeah.
or whatnot.
Yeah.
Like
I'm competitive too,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? And then also being around you and other people or whatnot, that movement of like you always having to work, like ain't nobody up in there, yeah, socialize, talk a little bit, but hey, I'm still here to get my fucking workout on
Yeah.
or whatnot, no matter what like the day's going, what's going on in the day. And I think just that's important. Like if I gotta be real with you, one of my goals in life, if it's all said and done, and we all dream big and have big dreams, is I want to own an NFL team or whatnot. And
Yeah,
to me,
that's
one
dope.
day, that's what I dream about.
Yeah.
Like, some people, and I always say this, some people want to be, Tom Brady and all that. But I look at Robert Kraft and a little
Yeah.
bit different. Like, I was always one of them, like, man, shit, it would be cool to be like Tom Brady. But like, I look at Robert Kraft. Some people want to be, the Deion Sanders, Emmitt Smith. I'd be
Yeah.
like, I like what Jerry Jones is doing.
Yeah.
So that's how I
wanna
like
be the boss.
Yeah, like that's so like one day, like if that ever happens one day, I have the fitness industry background because I've been around real people that know how to train. I think no matter what, if you're an athlete, you have to have a trainer. I always say I don't care how much people say, oh, you're God-given, you got all this natural talent. That's cool. But if you don't have a trainer or a coach that is really like crafting you and molding you, why you think LeBron has played for so many years? I be looking at people like no matter what, even if you ain't a LeBron fan, you got to respect the career because this man is about to go into his 40s still playing at like for a man to still be able to drop 20 and 10 and 8.
Yeah.
Like that's a slow night.
Man,
Yeah.
and it's crazy that a lot of people they haven't caught on to it yet. Like
Yeah.
they think that like because God-given talent is like, yeah, genetically you can be born some type of athletic. I understand that, but unless you have somebody to mold that and coach you how to get through it, because right now the playing field has been leveled. Right
Yeah.
now we got skill coaches. Like
yeah.
for example, like Martinez, right?
Hell yeah.
Now we can have 20 kids training with Martinez.
Hell
They're
yeah.
all going to get the same dribbling lessons.
Hell yeah.
And so now what is actually going to set you apart
Hell
from
yeah.
everybody else? Because now every kid is 6'5",
Yeah.
right? And so if everybody's 6'5", everybody can dribble, everybody can shoot,
Hell yeah.
right? What's going to set you apart? It's going to be your performance. And it's how long can you stay on the court
Hell yeah.
or on the field or whatever sport you're doing,
Hell yeah.
right? How long can you actually have a career, right, without having major injuries? And are you taking care of yourself as far as your body and your mental along the way? Because you're either going to fall off because there's so many more eyes on you when it comes to just the mental effect of what sports is now. Because back in the day, it was just like, hey, I get to go like Jordan.
Yeah.
Jordan got to just go out and have the lights on him, and then he can go home and he can do whatever the hell he wants
Hell
to,
yeah.
right? But now athletes, eyes are on you at any point in time. People are trying to bait you into doing stupid stuff. And so if you don't have somebody that's sitting there coaching you and pouring
important.
into you,
That's important.
you're not going to be able to be
That's
successful or have a long career. And then also somebody that's going to tell you what you don't know,
Yeah.
right? Because you don't know how to recover your body. Everybody knows how to do the stuff on the court. They know how to lift in the weight room. But if you lift heavy in the weight room,
Hell
right,
yeah.
and you not taking care of your body,
Hell yeah.
there's a couple people like people that can get away with it, like Ocho Cinco.
Yeah.
But other than that, for the most part, we are regular people. So if
Hell
you
yeah.
don't
You
take
gonna
care of
feel them.
yourself, yeah,
You gonna
you
feel
gonna feel it
hey.
over time. You might not feel it when you 20,
Yeah.
right? But when you get 30,
You
them
feel that?
knees is gonna be gone.
Because I'm feeling it at 27. I'm not gonna lie. I be
Yeah.
feeling it from like when I used to play football and shit. I ain't gonna cap. I be trying to tell people like, so I can only imagine what a professional athlete feels
Yeah.
like. And I'm like, yo, bro, I kind of feel it in pain in my knee when. So like, I think that's important. Like the
It's
recovery.
it's different.
But the thing is though, I feel like you, for example, you get your athletes there to that point where it's like, it's ingrained in them and they
Yeah.
they know what to do. And that's just because of you too, of how you carry yourself. And like I say this, bro, I've seen a lot of people call themselves skills trainer, performance trainers, I'm still learning a little bit of like the lingo, the exact term, because I don't want to say personal trainer to offend you as if
Oh
it's
no,
less, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't, but yeah,
you're not gonna offend me
yeah,
because the thing is, like, people don't understand the difference, and so
yeah,
it's like there's no way I can be offended if people don't know the difference,
yeah,
right?
yes,
But as you have a conversation and I educate you on everything that I
yeah,
do, then you can know it. But still, you've been ingrained. Everybody's been ingrained as a personal trainer,
yeah,
and so it's like, yeah, I'm a personal trainer. And I will call myself a personal
yeah,
trainer so people understand
yeah.
what I do.
Heck
And
yeah.
then once they get inside the doors, they're like, oh, this is different.
Hell yeah.
This ain't. I thought this was just gonna be me coming in, getting a little workout, and
Hell
kind
yeah.
of going on about my day. Nah,
Hell yeah.
you trying to tell me what I need to eat?
Hell yeah.
You trying to tell me that I need to stretch at
That's
nighttime?
important. That's
You know what I
important.
mean? And so, calling me a personal trainer, I'm gonna be fine
Oh
with
yeah,
it.
but look at the quality of like your athletes, and not just athletes, because you train general public
Yeah,
or whatnot. So like you gotta think the quality of people and the results that they're getting. It's like wow, it's like really eye opening where you just have to sit and be like, like they get something out of it. So the money is worth it. It's well spent. So you could set a price and that be your
yeah,
price because it's like that they're gonna get that result
yeah,
or whatnot. I've seen some gyms that like have a price or whatnot, and sometimes I look like that might be an overcharge with the quality of
yeah,
training that you're offering to people. So that might be the reason why people aren't coming in, because if you go over here, you go to this guy right here or whatnot, he's getting it done, and then versus somebody else who's just kind of bullshit,
yeah,
you gonna see the shit, and like that's just one of my main things that I say, and I think your gym is going to be bigger than what you imagine because you've already created a community
yeah.
and all that stuff, and people don't understand you've been at this for years. This
Yeah.
isn't I just woke up and was like
Nah.
I'm gonna just do this and boom, no,
I've done
like
every step.
you see what I'm saying?
Training, management,
You didn't
general
skip a step.
manager,
You
now
didn't
owner.
no, you didn't skip a step at all or whatnot. And a lot of people don't see that in this generation because we're so worried about how fast we can move it on social media or whatnot. And I even look at it for myself. Like a lot of people don't know before all this, I was already on a 6-year run of trying to get to this
Yeah,
or whatnot. You see
yeah,
what I'm saying? So like I just say that like and it goes back to being an entrepreneur, you got to play the long game. A
yeah,
lot of people don't want to play the long game because they think like, oh, we got to do this so fast because I see these people over here living like this, these people living like this. And I feel like the people that play the long game,
yeah.
they get the best return. It's like a return on your investment.
Yeah, it's like I think that's kind of where my saying honor the process comes from.
Hell yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like to make it simple for people is like, and this might put people on game, but like, all right, a microwave,
Yeah.
right? A microwave was made straight out of convenience,
Yeah.
right? Microwaves really kill our food.
Yeah.
And so we already getting half the nutrients that they say is on the package.
Yeah.
And then the microwave kills the rest. And
Yeah.
then so we're getting like a quarter of it,
Yeah.
pretty much, right? And so, but when you heat something up that quick, you're going to get the result of doing it so fast.
Yeah.
Right. But if you actually take your time, like it's like when your mama inside the kitchen and she's
Yeah.
been cooking all night
Hell yeah.
and then you eat it and you like, man, ain't nothing like
yeah,
mama's
I'm
cooking. Right? That is
Oh, yeah.
life, bro.
Oh, yeah.
And that is life, and if you apply that to whatever you do and you
Oh.
just say the work is the work and I'm a focus on what's in front of me today. I'm not gonna get too caught up in the gap between
Yeah.
where I'm at and where I'm trying to go.
Yeah.
You'll be way more set up for success, one mentally, but then also you're
Oh, yeah.
actually going to be able to play that long road. Whereas like with social media, it's been a good thing, but it's also been a bad thing because it has exposed us to false realities.
Hell yeah.
And so now when people see the false realities, let's say it's the first thing, like one, you shouldn't do this. Like first thing you get when you wake up, don't get on your phone, right?
Oh, yeah.
It's bad for your mental. But if you do, if most people are getting on their phone right when they wake up, first thing you're gonna see is you're gonna see something about somebody selling you about, hey, are you a personal trainer and you want to make 100K, right? And so it
This
makes
is how
you,
I do. You want to
yeah,
make 100K? I'm gonna give you guys
yeah.
this information.
And you just got a check for $400. It's
Yeah,
like, man, like,
yeah,
what am I doing wrong, right?
yeah,
But it's like, instead of focusing on the end result, focus on, all right, how am I
yeah,
gonna make myself better right now
yeah.
with the current person I am? And so for me, it was the more I learn and the more I master this craft, the more I can charge and the more I'm gonna grow.
Hell yeah.
And so I'm a believer in that. Like, it's funny because I hated school growing up, right?
Hell yeah.
But now that I'm older, I believe in educating myself on what I want to educate myself on, not on whatever they want me to
Hell yeah,
learn, right?
yeah.
But I educate myself on it so that way, now that I know it and I know that I can explain it and I can
Hell yeah.
communicate it, I can now charge more for it because
Yeah.
I know how to digest the information that's inside this book, right?
Okay. Hell yeah.
And so once I got good at that, then that's when my career started really growing with fitness because it was like, all right, I got regular personal training thing. I was like, all right, that's cool. Well, they said, oh yeah, if you have 2 certifications and you have this many hours of training, well, you could now qualify for this level of being a trainer. I'm like, cool. Well, I signed up. I remember I signed up for a new certification, corrective exercise,
Hell
and I was like, all right, I need to work this many hours. And I was like, well, does it count that I did this internship? And so once I did all that together, I got paid more. You know what I mean? And so it's like when you focus on what's in front of you, not the end result, and I'm just doing what I need to do to make the most out of what I got right now, and you do that on each level, you're
yeah.
going to grow, right? Because you're going to
Hell yeah.
outgrow your current stage because you're trying
Yeah.
to maximize what you got on your plate.
Hell yeah.
And if you keep maximizing, you're going to look up and then you'll be like, dang, I done passed everybody. Every goal that I set, I passed,
Hell yeah.
right? Every person that I was looking up to, I am now on their level or I'm past their level. And it's only because I focus on my lane, not what everybody else is doing. Because when
Right.
you're looking at what everybody else is doing and their success, that's discouraging you, one, and you losing your focus when you need to be in flow state of, hey, I need to focus on all this stuff right now, knock this off, and then once I look up from this checklist,
Yeah.
then I'm gonna be where I need to be.
Hey, Tim. Hey, man. Hey, that's some game right there, man. That is some game. Hey, one day when you get on $1 million worth of game with Gillian Wallow, bro. Cause yeah, woo. Okay, I gotta ask you just from a trainer standpoint. I
Yeah.
know you say you probably haven't been following the situation, but the blind side situation.
Yeah.
This is what I wanted to ask you. From a trainer's perspective,
Yeah.
if you've seen obviously a generational talent
Mhm.
that is happening right now or whatnot that you're training, but you see he's obviously he's not, with that family or
Mhm.
whatnot. And so pretty much like I'll give you a quick rundown in the sense of like the simple way to say it is these people profited off of Michael Orr,
Yeah.
like in a sense of like they said that they adopted him. They didn't really adopt him or whatnot. And then they were taking, all the business that he was generating, all the money that he was generating, they were taking it or
Yeah.
whatnot. The story's still developing, all that whoop-de-whoop. But as a trainer, if you see that going on, that people who aren't their original guardians, would you say anything? Would you think anything of it?
I would say I would probably think something of it, but at the same time, so this is and people might not agree with this opinion, but I would tell that person, I say, you need to educate yourself on
Hell yeah.
what you're doing, right? Because a lot of times we're so quick to take a handout,
Yeah.
and that's how you gonna get messed over.
Over.
You know what I mean? Because like, yeah, they might have. I don't really know the story, but
Yeah.
I assume from what you said is that hey, they kind of took advantage
Yeah.
of this kid. But it's like, all right, why did you even get yourself in this situation? Like, why did you choose to speak up now? Because I know The Blind Side came out a long time
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
And so it's like, did now you just realize, oh, you got skipped out on some paper, and now you want to get your vengeance?
Yeah.
Cool, if that's it. I mean, I understand it. Get your paper. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But at the same time, if I'm the trainer and I see it happening, all I could do is make sure that I am giving the person in front of me the best version of me,
Yeah.
giving them the advice that I think, but I can't get too much into their personal
Yeah,
situation because there's always gonna be 3 sides of the story.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be their side, the other person's side, and the truth.
Yeah.
And you never gonna
No.
know it because you might just hear the victim story because
Yeah.
so many people are used to just throwing the victim card out
Yeah.
there, and you'll feel sorry for them
Yeah.
and you'll be like, well, I mean, you didn't tell me what you did too,
Yeah.
and you find out the rest of the story later on.
No, no, yeah.
So I would say I'll probably tell that person like, hey, if you're going to give somebody a share of whatever you're doing,
Hell yeah.
you need to first know what you're doing,
Knowing.
right? And then know exactly what they are going to be
Yeah,
contributing
yeah.
to it. And then you can say, all right, you should get this portion.
Yeah.
But a lot of people, they get messed over that way because They just want like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I want to invest. I want to
Yeah.
give you this money.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, I'm gonna take the money. It's like,
Hell yeah.
yeah, that's
know how to
how all
read.
these music artists get
Yeah.
pimped out is because
Yeah.
that you want to take the
And
money,
they still
but you
haven't
don't
figured
read
it
the
out.
contract.
That's the craziest thing. They still have not figured it out. And I just say, like in Michael Orr's situation, of course he's a kid. He's only like a junior in high school, and these people come to him and say, "Hey, you can live with us." And of course, you have to know there's some type of financial gain that's going to happen. And like, you know, I don't know the personal relationship that they had or whatnot, but let's just be real.
Yeah.
If there's a person that you know is going to professional sports, and I'm just say NFL,
A lot of people
NBA,
latch on to him.
a lot of people are going to latch on, and especially if that person is not from the best environment of where like the people that he has around him is probably going to get him to that next level or whatnot. Because let's be real, like, you know, they said his mom was on crack, his dad wasn't around, he had like 12 siblings or whatnot. So these people probably were genuinely like, hey, like we want you to get, you know, to because like you'll miss out on this opportunity,
Yeah.
which I don't think is wrong. And I think, you know, if you have people like that in your life that see that and are willing to help you with that, especially coming from a certain environment, that's good or whatnot. Now I think where it becomes tricky is now, okay, if the movie has made, The Blind Side made over $300 million or whatnot, all these people are getting royalties and payouts or whatnot, like how much, I think that's where it is. And like, you know, when you get a chance to look up the situation, and I only like reference this right now because of NIL deals. So you got to think like now being in high school is way different if you're an athlete that's going places, because it's like you can actually now make money. The shit that Reggie Bush got crucified for
Yeah.
is okay. Like
Crazy, right?
you know what I'm saying? Like he
Yeah.
deserves his Heisman back for, and you know what I'm saying? Especially after like the shit that the video or the series about Johnny Manziel and all the illegal
Yeah.
shit they was doing with Johnny Manziel. Reggie Bush deserves his Heisman back 100%.
You know how
But
to go, though.
you gotta, but you gotta think though, like right now for these high school kids, it's crazy. I think high school kids really should be trying to maximize as much as they can on NI deals. And this is something simple as if you just get sponsored by your local fucking restaurant or like whatever town shops is in there or what, you know what I'm saying? Just because like that puts money into that young person's pockets, you know, I think that's very, very important. So like, yeah, that's why I want to ask you.
I think it's two-sided. I think that I am happy that the players are getting paid.
Yeah.
I think the hard part is no one's looking at the collateral damage of it.
Yeah.
Because like, let's say like football is the ultimate team sport. Right? And so now when you put NIL on it, so when it's like, hey,
Makes it hard.
it makes it hard to make it a team sport.
This guy's getting like $10 million or $1 million, because $10 million is a little bit outrageous. But like if you know this young person getting $1 million,
I'm here for the money. I'm not here for my boys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not messing up my money. And so now you kind of made the sport transactional. It's like the love for the game is not gonna be the same. Like you're not gonna get you're not gonna get some of those people that just love the game and they're able to profit from that love because we now have made the sport transaction. So that's the hard part because I love sports so much, but I am happy that they are getting paid.
Hell yeah.
I think the other hard part is that when you give it's a sticky situation, but when you give kids so much money early, you don't know how to manage it. You know what I mean? Because that's the reason why, like, when people, if someone was to ask me, like, now, not when I was 20, right? Like, do you want $1 million now or do you want $1 million later?
You're going to take it at 20. You're going to be
you're going to take it at 20, right?
Yeah.
But you know you are going to do some
Especially
stupid shit
if
with
you
that,
at a
right?
major university playing football or basketball and you got all that money.
Right.
I'm going to be honest.
But you're putting aside all liabilities. You know what I mean?
Because, I mean, in a sense, let's be real. Like, if you a high-level athlete like that that's getting that much money in NIL money, you ain't going to class. Like your job, you reason why you go to school is because you want a 3 to 4 years.
If I knew I was going to NBA, I wouldn't go to class.
No.
You know what I mean? But it's like, but at the same time, what you're gonna get is you're gonna get a lot of people that don't know how to manage their money.
Yep.
And so then you might be setting them up more for failure on the back end because they got all this money up front and now they think that they rich.
Yep.
Right? When they don't know what real money really is.
Because it's hard to talk, trust me, it's hard to talk to a 19, 20-year-old.
You can't tell me nothing because I'm looking, it's like the Kanye. It's like, why would I talk to you if you don't make as much money as me? Right? But that's a 20-year-old mindset.
Yeah.
And then, but you don't know that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get this new Lambo. I'm gonna go get this, and
maintenance.
And it might be the Lambo that you get. You might get it for, let's say you get it for 200K, right?
Yeah.
But it's so
already at $800K now.
Yeah, right. But that Lambo is not like, it's not going to be beneficial for you. Like it might be one of those that just drop inside value so crazy and doesn't hold their value. So you done drove this thing in.
Oh, yeah.
Now things have gotten hard, and you like,
Oh yeah.
Well, I bought it for 200K. Well, yeah, bro, we don't want it unless we'll give you 70K for it, right? But you could have got a
Thousand,
McLaren,
thousand.
and you could have got a McLaren, and it would have still stayed at 150,
Yeah.
right? But you don't know those things because you don't have the mind to think
No,
about how
you
should
don't.
I put my money into the right places
Because
in order for it to stay
And I
there.
like what you said about that because when I was like young, 19, 20, 21, and the amount of money that I was making, I was making some good money. And I just kind of sit back like, damn, what if I would have just really like invested all that money and already kind of had a scheme of a business that I was trying to work on, or not a
Mhm.
scheme, a business plan that I was already trying to work on, and put that money towards the business or whatnot at 19, 20. And like you say, you can't really tell a young person
Yeah.
shit, especially when you try to tell like one of them young 19, 20, 21-year-old people, like, hey, I've been your age before. I've done what you've done or
Mhm.
whatnot. Like, I promise, like, ain't nothing new to me or what they're
Yeah.
gonna say or what it like you can't tell them, but then you got to be like, okay, like they're gonna learn one day, and I get it, especially being a male. Cool, you gonna run around, you gonna hit whatever shorties you gonna hit, you
Yeah.
gonna get the attention you gonna get, but it's gonna come a day, and I don't care who
It's
you
gonna come
are,
back.
it's gonna come back, and you better be prepared for that full circle moment.
And it's like it's almost like with your friends. Like it's like people will tell you like, hey man, you probably shouldn't be hanging around that person, you know what I'm saying? But then like
Man,
as you grew up, you didn't know it. But then let's say something happened and
man,
that relationship just falls off,
hell yeah,
right? And you understand, but hindsight 2020, you
yeah,
now understand what that person was telling you,
telling you,
right? But at that point in time, you're not gonna listen because you're young.
you
And
young,
so when you give so much to somebody who's so young, one, they're not gonna appreciate it.
true,
And then two, you're not gonna know what to do with it. And so
true,
that's the other part where right now where it's like all these we are giving so much to the younger generation, which is cool. I'm not
yeah,
against it, but at the same time, them not having to when we're just freely giving it to them,
yeah,
like there has to be some type of earn there because that's what
yeah.
makes you actually value what you're
I
being
just
given.
say, like, if a young athlete is going into that NIL shit, them deals and all that stuff, you better have a team of people that's
Mhm.
like really on your team and people that
You
are able
trust.
to like guide you through that
Mhm.
because you just have to. You just really have to because that's a lot of money. Like people don't even understand like even $10,000 for somebody that's only 19 at
Mhm.
your disposal to use. That's a lot of money. So
They're going to
imagine
high school, bro.
yeah, in high school, yeah, like, and even to get to some of these kids is getting up to like damn near almost $1 million,
Mhm.
and like that's a lot of money. And I hear some of these kids go on like these podcasts, these shows, and they talk about how much money they got off of NIL and all that shit. And oh yeah, like I invest. No, you don't. You don't like
Mhm.
quit lying. They told you to say that on the camera, but
Yeah.
I can just look and see how you're spending your money or whatnot. Because in my opinion, if I was in this generation, I was one of these major athletes to go buy some crazy ass expensive car. That's the dumbest thing you can, especially like you got to think there's people that aren't getting these deals that they're working to the league to get what you already are getting because there's a lot of athletes now in this generation that are being catered to or
Mhm.
whatnot. There's an underdog right now sitting looking at that number one player, looking at them top players. Like shit, you got to think about old boy that came out of USC that played for the Lions, St. Brown, I want to say, the wide receiver or whatnot, bro. It was fucking 13 receivers picked before him in the
Mhm.
draft or whatnot. He's number one top in fantasy and all that shit versus all these people that were picked before him. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like people don't realize like that shit happen. When you get to the league, this is when you want a trainer. This is when you want or a
Mhm.
coach or like this is when you want that stuff because once you get to the league, everybody's good. Everybody done made some money.
Yeah.
It's
And and I would say like a lot I think also a lot of people are neglecting the part of which is the sad reality that a lot of people don't want to look at and they kind of passing over.
yeah.
Don't be on media talking about how much money you got.
No,
You making yourself a target
no,
for real. Like,
no.
because the thing is like they're getting on there and they're talking. It's like,
Yeah.
don't talk about how much
No.
money you're getting.
No.
Right.
Never.
And I would say one, if you are gonna get that much money, you need to educate yourself. You guys
Better.
have access to so much stuff
Shit,
on
better.
media and the internet
Yeah.
that can tell you like, hey, when you get this amount of money, you need to put this over here inside this account. This needs to come automatically to
Yeah.
this account. This over here, and this is what you need to pay
Yeah.
yourself. Like educate yourself on how to use that money the
Hell
right
yeah.
way. But then also don't go on here and flaunt your money because there are people that are sitting there watching you
Hell yeah.
and you're putting yourself inside a bad situation
yeah.
to be able to be a target
Hell
because
yeah.
it's those people and you still have those underdogs that are coming to take your
Hey.
spot.
Hell
So
yeah.
you can't get comfortable. And I think that we now look at everybody wants to flex, right? And
True.
they don't and they want to be seen as a man. Like take
Hell
the
yeah.
ego out of it. be the person that's getting the money in the background.
Hell yeah. And I like what you said, that was some real game right there. So I hope whatever young viewers listen really hones into that and listens to that. Should we come in at like kind of the end of the interview? This was a really good conversation, man. Really good conversation. Like I like, sitting here talking with you, man. And like I said, I think the podcast space is your space too. Like I think you gotta like
Appreciate it.
figure out a way how to like, do your version of what you're trying to do because I think it's possible, bro. I guess do you have any like plugs that you want to plug in, like real quick, anything like coming up? Because this video is gonna come out the first week of like September 3rd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say grand opening Diamond Kut Athlete, September 23rd. We're located on 13492 US 183 Suite 250, right next to the Half Price
Yeah.
Books. Shout out to Perfect Posture, Monty.
Oh
If
yeah.
you're a woman that's looking to get inside shape, that's gonna be the perfect person for you.
Heck yeah.
Perfect at on Instagram and social media sites at Perfect Posture. And then also if you're looking to just get that work and you want to work with somebody that's gonna push you as a male or female, whoever you are, Diamond Kut _ athlete. And also you can always find us the gym at Diamond Kut Athlete Gym
Heck
on
yeah.
all social media platforms.
Heck yeah. Hey, and that's a wrap. Voice podcast. I got AJ here. Anytime he come to studio, it's always gonna be a good one. See you guys later.